Memorial Day, what it means to him, and a story from his book about one of his lost mates. How are you? Thanks,
Great.
Patrick.
How are you doing?
So good. So, what does Memorial Day mean to you before we even kind of get into more of that story?
Oh, absolutely. So what Day means to me, I'm part of the VFW, so we really remember the fallen heroes from all our past wars, and even those have passed away after their service, where it could have been through self-harm or just an accident. Yeah, but we still have to remember those fallen heroes from the various wars previous to us.
Yeah, it's just so. How did you learn a lot once you became a veteran and joining the VFW? Did
Mhm.
they teach you a lot more about that?
Absolutely, because you do deal with a lot of different people over the years who, they're veterans, they have their own stories and about their fellow comrades that passed away either during active duty or after active duty.
Very interesting. And that
Mhm.
that time. So what are we supposed? How who are we remembering in Memorial Day? Because
Mhm.
that's something that sometimes they don't educate everyone about.
Mhm. Absolutely. Yeah. So with Memorial Day, I always think about, the guys on the Iwo Jima on the beach, Okinawa. That's the battle that I've kind of looked through, and like that was just a brutal battle, and those men that fell during that battle, and even Pearl Harbor, World War One, all the way back to the Revolutionary War. Just anybody that served, killed in action. Those are our heroes that I do look at for Memorial Day and who I honor. Yesterday we went and we stood flags up outside our local cemetery, and it was just along the road. We just put the flags up along the fence, and just to show our respect.
Are we supposed to celebrate people that passed on for Memorial Day that were not in any wars?
I believe so, yes. That's the way I look at. I mean, even if they did serve, I would definitely honor them as well that have passed away that have not served in a war.
So you have a story to tell about one of them in
Absolutely.
your book.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, one of my friends, he was referenced in the book, and him and I were high school friends. And yeah, he was a really good swimmer. And so we went into the Navy. He became an explosive ordnance disposal diver. And so, leading right into him being able to swim really well, he was very active, very strong, and so he made it through the training very easily. And for years, he loved to blow things up. That was a nice part of it. Jump out of helicopters, airplanes, ride on small boats. So he was very active and something where he traveled a lot. I think he even did some work with the Secret Service while he was in the Navy, just for explosive ordnance disposal. So basically the bomb squad. So he went on to, during Iraq wars, he did uh, do 11 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. So, and he only got blown up once. He said, he went into a building, it came down on him, he got injured, so he had a Purple Heart. And of course, I called him afterwards when he was in the hospital. I was like, "What happened?" He's like, "Oh, I got blowed up." Oh, that's great. You got blowed up. But he always had a great attitude. Very fun-loving guy. And he put in for his retirement to retire at 23 years. And like I said, this was after 11 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. And several months before his retirement, in Southern California, he rolled his Jeep late at night on a Saturday night, got ejected and killed. So it was something where, yeah, it was really heart wrenching to know that he was so close to retirement, and just an accident like this, and especially after everything he's seen and done, uh, working with explosives in the U.S. Navy, it was really heartbreaking to see that. But he is honored that he is currently laid to rest in Arlington Cemetery in Arlington, Virginia.
And how do you get laid to rest in Arlington, Virginia, at Arlington Cemetery?
Mhm. Well, for one, I think you do need to serve in an active combat zone, I believe. I think you can always apply for it ahead of time. A lot of people, like for example, that served in Iraq and Afghanistan, they have a certain section where they do tend to lay those soldiers and sailors and Marines in those specific areas. But a lot of war heroes are there. Every time I go to the Washington, D.C. area, I do try to make a visit. And now that he's there, I do go and find his gravesite every time I do go. So, and of course, whenever I go there, I'll do the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier and also looking at the, what was it, the Eternal Flame with JFK.
Wow. And you enjoy doing that? It's a good
Mhm.
history lesson
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Yeah, seeing the highlights, Audie Murphy and various other, very famous, stars that, served their country when they were like during World War II. They would take that time off. I think even Elvis served at that time, but I'm pretty sure he's not laid to rest at Arlington. But that is sort of the you're looking at the different stars that are there, and you do know the military stars as well. And I think if you are a general or admiral, you can also be laid to rest there. But I think there is a approval process if you wanted to try to, be laid to rest in Arlington.
so what should civilians think about on Monday
Mhm.
when celebrating Memorial Day that really is not being
Mhm.
taught enough?
Yeah, just all the fallen heroes that never came home. Those are the people that I would recognize and remember the most. And if anybody asks me, and I always do hear this where people thank me for my service. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. But just please remember those that didn't come home.
And thank you for your service for sure, Patrick.
Mhm.
And tell us where we can find your book.
Sure. Yeah, it's at Amazon, barnesandnoble.com, and also underwaybooks.com. Through underwaybooks.com, I can sign a copy for you and ship it off to you. But then also, I have my podcast. I'm trying to get it to a weekly podcast. And right now, that's under Apple, Spotify, YouTube as the podcast. And that is the World's Finest Strike Podcast.
All right. Well, fantastic. Thanks again, Patrick. Appreciate it, sir.
Awesome.